take a moment to remind all of us that those who led the struggle for the restoration of democracy in 1988 to 1999 that led to the registration of political parties did so by sacrificing their life, their time, their family to fight for the restoration of democracy. They apply wisdom, they apply decency by engaging the military institutions and persuading them to allow democracy to return. And we want to thank the military administration as of then by agreeing and conceding to the fact that democracy is the best form of practice. They registered political parties, they allow parties to campaign. The party that won as of then, the PDP, took over the ring of power. And President Olusegun Obasanjo was sworn in as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That reminds all of us that building a democracy is not an individual affair. It's a collective responsibility. There must be a tolerance, there must be a large heart, there must be an ability to accommodate one another. Our views must differ, but what is singularly uncompromising to all of us is the unity of Nigeria. The current President Tinubu, I know vividly. I was in Lagos during the June 12th. I saw how men and women have sacrificed their life, have died in the cause of defending democracy. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was on exile, fighting for the restoration of democracy. He was lucky to be back in 1999 and to be a governor of Lagos State under opposition party for 8 years. So I'm convinced that he knows what opposition is. He understood clearly what democracy is all about and the benefit of democracy and the ability to tolerate our differences of who we are. Nigeria is a big country and our views might not be the same. But what keeps us together is the unity and strength of Nigeria despite our diversity. First, let me thank the President by standing firmly with the Attorney General of the Federation and the Supreme Court of Nigeria by doing justice to the autonomy, financial autonomy of the local government. It was a very sound decision. It was patriotic. And this is what we always say. Wherever the government did well, we would mention it clearly that this is a good decision for the country. So we commend the government for taking that bold decision. We also appeal to the governors to follow suit, to allow the top tier of government to prevail, the local government to have their financial control so that you can reduce level of insecurity, you can increase food production chain, and you can take care of local issues like dispensaries, hospitals, educations, and so on and so forth. This is what presidential system of government is all about that we are copying or we copied from America. The disturbing development of yesterday, Wednesday, the 17th of July, which we thought ordinarily that government must have a large heart to accommodate voices that disagreed with some of the policies and programs of the government. And if I could also remember vividly, what led to the emergence of APC is simple. There was a massive disagreement internally within the PDP. The revolt within the PDP led to the emergence of the APC. Lack of capacity of the PDP to accommodate others, the imposition, the rascality within the party led to the defeat of the PDP. This is the same thing that is playing out in the APC today. We are shocked and we thought that by now we have gone beyond experimenting. We are consolidating the process of democracy, strengthening the institutions of government, and ensure that there's a dividend of democracy, and we work together irrespective of our party differences. What is common is our country. How can we build a great nation with a population of over 250 million? This is of great concern to all of us. We the politicians, you the journalists, the academicians, everybody, if we are not careful, will be a victim of the system. We saw a rowdy Senate yesterday This is not the first time we've been seeing around the Senate. But each one has its own peculiarities. The one we saw yesterday was quite disturbing. Based on Star interview anchored by Charles Obarais, where Senator Ndume was interviewed and he spoke out his mind sincerely, deeply, with that sense of nationalism and patriotism about the situation of Nigeria. Everyone knows that this country is trying to grip with the fact that people are not happy. People have made their mind known that they want to ventilate peacefully. As a party, we endorse peaceful protests. We are not part of any violent protests. And the Constitution protects citizens to protest peacefully, ventilate where they disagree with government policies and programs. And I thought this government is very, very smart to look at what Senator Ndume have said, the way he puts it through, which means that he has taken the burden off the government by representing the entire people who disagree with some of the policies, the overtaxations of the government, by telling the government the truth that Nigerians are not happy. Hunger have enveloped this country. Poverty have taken over this country. Food shortages, the demand have outweighed the supply by far. I thought that was a very patriotic one. Secondly, what I thought is that the party will sit down with him, discuss deeply with him, and I'm sure if that space was there, if that opening was there, probably Senator Ndume would not have gone to the public. But as a patriotic person, this is not the first time he have done so. The doors were closed according to him, and then he have no other option as a parliamentarian than to come out and explain, and in another way to also persuade people who want to ventilate their anger to do it within the ambit of the law, not to take arms, to fight or to destroy or to injure anyone. So for me, it was a great service he have done to the government and to his party by drawing the attention of the party and the government that this impending crisis is close to impossible unless we do something as urgently as possible. The voices of the people, they are beyond what anybody can control. It's all over the mainstream media, the social media, virtually everywhere. The religious scholars, the academicians, everyone is on the same page. There are mistakes that are being made. So, as a party, what we saw yesterday, we saw a breach of internal party mechanisms, a breach of failure to listen to great voices of both Senator Ndume, Adam Oshomole, and a host of others, even the immediate past Senate President Ahmed Lawal. We have senators within the APC that have been voicing out very strongly that, look, we need to review some of these policies and programs that we are running. Unfortunately, a letter from the APC, emanating from the APC caucus, signed by the chairman of APC and the secretary to the Senate, urging them or directing them to remove the chief whip, Senator Ndume, not only removing him, telling him that he is free to leave APC to any other party of his choice. Ndume is a very ranking senator. He's one of the senior experienced parliamentarians we have in Nigeria today. He has been the Senate Majority Leader when he was even in the House of Reps, when he was in the, now that he's in the Senate, he's a chief whip currently. And for somebody of that caliber to be treated the way he was treated, without decorum, trying to silence every individual that tried to raise his voice to advise this government, is the most uncharitable thing to do. And therefore, if the APC feel that they don't need him anymore, we in the SDP, we are making a call and we are inviting Senator Ndume openly to come and join the Social Democratic Party. We will work with him. We will support him to continue the good job he's doing in the Senate. We will not hesitate to do whatever it takes to support him. And it's documented that the APC wrote that letter asking him to leave. They don't need him, they don't need his services. But Nigerians need his services. SDP needs his services. We are here to say that We stand by what he has said. He is honest, he is sincere. He has told the government the bitter truth they don't want to hear. And some of us are shocked. Some of us that knows the president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a bridge builder. He's one man who believes in reaching out to everyone. The man that I know have listening ears. And so if somebody who happened to be very close to the president, Senator Ndume, said that no one of them have access to him anymore, and that those who are in charge of the entire process are being described in different quarters with different mentality, of serving their own interest, not the interest of the country. So we feel strongly that what happened was completely wrong. It wasn't in the overall national interest of the country. The cacocrats and the kleptocrats that was mentioned and explained by Senator Ndume is right, is correct, whether the government like it or not. It is an opportunity for the president to review his cabinet and purge his cabinet and make sure that his policies and programs are people-oriented. He said he applied for the job. So he's not complaining. I've always said that, Mr. President, you don't need to complain. You may not know what is going on. But we that are telling you, you should listen to us. We as stakeholders, as SDP, we have produced senators, we have produced House of Reps, we have produced State Assembly, we have produced even local government. So we are a major stakeholders in Nigeria. And we have the right to draw the attention of the government. SDP is not in conflict with the current leadership of the country, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are not in conflict with the National Assembly. We are not in conflict with the Judiciary. We will have a national duty, an obligation as a party to draw the attention of the executive, to draw the attention of the National Assembly, to draw the attention of the Judiciary. These three arms of government, if they are not careful, if they are not calculative, if they are not sensitive, they will plug this country into a situation that nobody prayed for. Look at the level of insecurity. It's increasing on a daily basis, even though the government is doing everything humanly possible to bring it to the barest, to the lowest, as low as possible. But the non-state actors are also not sleeping. And then the quantum of resources that were injected in ensuring that Nigeria is secured, you keep on wondering, where is those resources going to? What is happening? So we want to state clearly that Ndume expressed the concern that the APC government of the President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going down because, according to him, the government is being run by cacocrats, which he explained to mean a government run by the worst, least qualified, or most unscrupulous citizens. He went further to add that the government is populated by cacocrats and kleptocrats, explaining that kleptocrats components refer to people who are in government for what they can make for themselves. Accordingly, the letter to the Senate requested Senator Ndume to honorably resign his membership of APC and join any other opposition party of his choice. That letter emanated, as stated and circulated in the media, from the APC party management, which give him the right and the latitude to move if he want to move. It's a documented letter. I'm sure they have the CTC of that letter. Based on the following, we in the SDP, we want to state clearly. First, we stand before you today to address a press conference that threatened the very fabric of our democracy. The recent removal of Senator Ali Ndume as chief whip of the Senate, coupled with the intolerance displayed by the presidency and the All People, the Progressive People Congress APC, is a stark reminder of the danger of unchecked power. Senator Ndume's criticism of the government policies and their impact on Nigerians is not only legitimate, but also a testament to his commitment to the well-being of our citizens. Yet, instead of engaging with his concern, the APC leadership chose to silence him through removal and intimidation. We also had, we are not sure, rumors going around that our dear patriotic media men who are committed, sacrificing their life, covering every event, releasing them the way they are, there was some attempt to invite them through some envelope to water down what happened at the floor of the Senate. We had some of them who were patriotic enough to say, no, we are doing our duty, and will continue to do their duty. And this is what we expect of the media. And some of the great media men that are here that I know over decades, they are very committed and loyal people. Let me tell you, Nigeria is for all of us. If you refuse to do the right thing, then the fact will haunt all of us. We have nowhere to go. We may disagree, but the unity of Nigeria, strengthening our unity, is our fundamental responsibility. Nobody can do it for us. There is no foreigner from anywhere that can come and solve our problem. No foreigner. We have three sets of minds. The great minds that think and analyze what the future would look like, what can make the nation great, what can solve the problem of Nigeria. And you have the middle minds that analyze events. That's what they specialize in doing. Very low people, what they think of, look, this event happened here, what happened there. And then you have the other class who believe in, gossiping. This man is looking fat today. This man is looking slim today. That's what they believe in. But we have a great mind. We have to think of a great Nigeria, how Nigeria can move on. This is not an isolation incident. We recall the experiences of Senator Abdul Ningi of recent, who was suspended for raising an issue of alleged padding of the budget, an issue of grave concern that casts aspersion on the integrity of both the Senate and the presidency. Recently, the former president of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawal, also raised serious concern, and Senator Adam Osomole suffered similar fate for speaking the truth to power. This trend is alarming and undermining the principle of democracy and fair hearing. How about Senator Adam Osomole, who has been crying out like a voice in the wilderness, calling the administration attention to the effects of many of its policies and how they threaten the advancement of a true democratic and developing nation like Nigeria. Personally, the President Bola Asuwaju that I know and interact with is a bridge builder who over the years have proven to be people-oriented and tribalized. He welcomes everyone with open arms and is always ready to make adjustments upon the proof of superiority of ideas and knowledge. But what we witness currently is a president under whose watch uncalculated decisions are made, which effects has set the country on free fall in almost all ramifications. The only thing left for our country now are human beings who cannot tell where their next meal is coming from. People who cannot close their eyes, who cannot close their two eyes to sleep without their life being threatened by insecurity. This is the democracy that our compatriots, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, fought in the good days of our military rule in Nigeria. I don't want to call it dark days. I believe we are all Nigerians, whether we are in uniform or civilians or politicians. Both the politicians and the military have contributed to the development of Nigeria. We are partners in progress. They belong to a different field of protecting the territorial integrity of Nigeria. So I'm one of those who disagree to call that period dark day periods. Every period has its dark days. This democracy that we are, there is no time in history that Nigerians lost their life, killed and maimed and kidnapped with barbarism like this democracy that we run. So for me, good days of the military administration then. The SDP believe that criticism is essential to a healthy democracy, and we will not stand by idle while the APC seek to stifle dissenting voices. We extend our official invitation to Senator Ali Ndume to join our great party and continue his quest for social justice, good governance, and entrenchment of democratic principle. Senator Ndume will say, you are courageous, stand against the APC authoritarianism, tendencies is laudable, and we welcome you to our fold. Together, we shall continue to advocate for the right of Nigerians and ensure our democracy remains vibrant and inclusive. To the APC and the presidency, we say, embrace criticism, listen to the concerns of Nigerians, and work towards building a more inclusive, participatory democracy. Let us all unite to restore Nigerian democracy and ensure that the voices of our citizens are heard. Thank you very much. There is any question? We're ready to. The senator is a product of the party. The senator was here with me. We've been discussing a lot of issues. We are not silent on this, just the way the headquarters of the party are up and doing in terms of advising this government. I also know, and you're also aware, our elected members have been coming here to the Secretariat to brief us. Our elected members in the State Assembly have also visited the Secretariat to update us what they are doing in their various states assemblies. We are not a party that will just sit and allow things to go unnoticed. We are very, very alert. And of course, you know, the chamber have different components of elected people from different platforms. But that is not the concern of today. The concern of today is that the National Assembly is a symbol of our democracy. If the National Assembly is being weakened, if the judiciary is being weakened, look at what is going on with the judiciary. I just saw a publication of People Gadget or something, talking about the corruption index in Nigeria. They rated judiciary as the most corrupt institution that have collected money more than the police, more than the politicians, more than any other institution in Nigeria. And that is the last hope of a common man, the judiciary. We were bite terribly as a party through the judiciary. We were taken off our feet by the judicial judgments based on our facts, based on our record, based on our presentations, based on documents we submitted to INEC. The appeal court judgment and the tribunal judgment is something that I don't want to even mention. I have the highest respect for the judiciary. But let me say this. I have mentioned before, if these arms of government, both the executive, the National Assembly, and the judiciary, do not believe or do not understand that the only pillars that is keeping Nigeria going, they are making the greatest mistakes of their life. The greatest mistakes of their life. Any arm of government can truncate a system. Any arm of the government. If executive is reckless, why we have the National Assembly is to checkmate the excesses of the executive. And of course, if both of them are reckless, the judiciary is to restore normalcy, to interpret the law that will stabilize the country, just like what they did in the local government financial autonomy. That is a great service to the country. But in a situation where the whole world would describe our judiciary as a corrupt institution that have been collecting money more than any other institution, I feel ashamed about it. I feel bad about it. So, like you said, our senators, you know, they are vibrant. They are ranking senators. They are up and doing. One of our senators is not too disposed. We are working. We are praying for him. He's also in the hospital. But, you know, Wadada is everywhere. He's working very hard. We always compare notes. But compared to what we have, and those in the majority in the Senate, you know, what can you do? What we can do is to add our voice, add our wisdom to stabilize this country. The entire majority, or 99% of the political parties, stood by INEC on the very day INEC declared the results. Not because the result was perfect or was absolutely correct. No, our interest is to make sure that democracy have not been tampered with. That was our interest. We stood by it, and we got it right. Because anarchy would have ensued. What would have happened? So it's our collective responsibility. The National Assembly, the Senate President, who happened to be my good friend, the Speaker that I know that I respect, they have served in different capacities. He was a governor for 8 years. He was a senator. He was a minister. You are running one of the biggest parliament in Africa. And then you don't have the large heart to accommodate dissenting voices that will strengthen your position, that will redefine the Nigerian parliament, that will show that we have a parliament that is robust, that is accommodating. So if within the ambit of their own party, they can humiliate, intimidate a resourceful, one of the ranking senators in their mix, highly experienced, then what can you say? You can see how PDP have gone down. There's no single voice from the PDP today. So are we really fighting to protect democracy? Are we pretending? Are we doing it just for our stomach? What I'm doing is not that I'm comfortable with it. It's a major sacrifice that we are doing. Telling them the truth. They might not like it. We saw some people recently went on air, said that they criticized somebody, he sends assassins after him. This is what we know has happened. So many politicians have been assassinated. It's not as if we are comfortable, but then we cannot abandon our country. We cannot be intimidated. Some of us are product of guts. It is the God that is making us to stand and tell the government the truth. I don't have any other country passports. If there's a problem here, I have nowhere to run to. I don't have a house anywhere apart from Nigeria. I was born here. My parents, my grandparents were born in Nigeria. My loyalty is to my country. We will not be part of anything that will pull down the roof. We have mentioned it. SDP is not part of pulling down the roof. But SDP as a party will talk to the people in power to be careful not to pull down their own roof with their own hands. Because this is what they are doing now. They are trying to pull their own roof with their own hands. And we are telling them, don't do that. You don't own Nigeria. About 8.20 million votes produce the president. The population of Nigeria is over 250 million. So they are not the majority. The majority are innocent people that are dying, that are suffering from hunger, from starvation, from insecurity, from maiming, from barbarity. So APC is not in the majority. The majority of the victims of democracy are Nigerians. And the president should know this better than any other person. He invested to ensure democracy prevails. There is no justification for having palpitation. Nigeria is for all of us. All this nepotism and so on and so forth is a primitive idea. I am a product of Nigeria. It wasn't just my tribe, the Fulani, that made me who I am. A collection of brilliant Nigerians made me who I am. The input of Nigerians made me who I am, that I'm standing here today. And I'm grateful to all Nigerians. My loyalty is to my country, not any other thing. So we believe in democracy, that we embraced, that we cherished, that we protected. People died. In every election, people died. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should know better. What happened in the last election in Lagos, what happened in June 12 in Lagos. In my presence, I saw how young people were killed, shot and killed and taken away. Did you ask their parents how they feel, how they are feeling? What is democracy? Government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We are not running a military regime.